Hi there, boys and girls. Time for story time with Mr. Riddle. We're going to read one of my favorite stories called The Sneetches and Other Stories by Dr. Seuss. Let's get started. The Sneetches. Now, the Starbelly Sneetches had bellies with stars. The plain belly Sneetches had none upon theirs. Those stars weren't so big, they were really so small, you might think such a thing wouldn't matter at all. You see the ones with stars? And the ones with no stars? But because they had stars, all the Starbelly Sneetches would brag, "We're the best kind of Sneetch on the beaches." With their snoots in the air, they would sniff and they'd snort. "We'll have nothing to do with the plain belly sort." And whenever they met some, when they were out walking, they'd hike right on past them without even talking. Ones with stars wouldn't even talk to the other ones. When the Starbelly children went out to play ball, could a plain belly get in the game? Not at all. You only could play if your bellies had stars, and the plain belly children had none upon theirs. They couldn't even play ball. That's sad. When the Starbelly Sneetches had Frankfurter roasts, see them cooking hot dogs? Frankfurters? Or picnics or parties or marshmallow toasts, they never invited the plain belly Sneetches. They left them out cold in the dark of the beaches. They kept them away, never let them come near, and that's how they treated them year after year. They couldn't come over to the party because they don't have stars. Poor Sneetches, they don't look very happy. Then, one day, it seems, while the plain belly Sneetches were moping and doping along the beaches, just sitting there wishing their bellies had stars, a stranger zipped up in the strangest of cars. "My friends," he announced, in a voice clear and keen, "my name is Sylvester McMonkey McBean, and I've heard of your troubles. I've heard you're unhappy, but I can fix that. I'm the fix-it-up chappie. I've come here to help you. I have what you need, and my prices are low, and I work at great speed, and my work is 100% guaranteed." Then, quickly, Sylvester McMonkey McBean put together a very peculiar machine. And he said, "You want stars like the Starbelly Sneetch? My friends, you can have them for $3 each. Just pay me your money and hop right aboard." So they clambered inside. Then the big machine roared, and it clonked, and it bonked, and it jerked, and it burked, and it bopped them out. But the thing really worked. When the plain belly Sneetches popped out, they had stars. They actually did. They had stars upon theirs. Now they could get stars if they go in the machine. Then they yelled at the ones who had stars at the start. "We're exactly like you. You can't tell us apart. We're all just the same now, you snooty old smarties. And now we can go to your Frankfurter parties." "Good grief," groaned the ones who had stars at the first. "We're still the best Sneetches, and they are the worst. But now, how in the world will we know?" They all frowned. "If which kind is what, or the other way round?" You can't tell which one is which. They all have stars now. Then up came McBean with a very sly wink, and he said, "Things are not quite as bad as you think. So, you don't know who's who? That is perfectly true. But come with me, friends. Do you know what I'll do? I'll make you again the best Sneetches on beaches. And all it will cost you is $10 eaches. Belly stars are no longer in style, said McBean. What you need is a trip through my star-off machine. This wondrous contraption will take off your stars, so you won't look like Sneetches, who have them on theirs. And that handy machine working very precisely, removed all the stars from their tummies quite nicely. Now they don't have stars. Then, with snoots in the air, they paraded about, and they opened their beaks and they let out a shout. We know who is who. Now there isn't a doubt. The best kind of Sneetches are Sneetches without stars. Then, of course, those with stars all got frightfully mad. To be wearing a star now was frightfully bad. Then, of course, old Sylvester McMonkey McBean invited them into his star-off machine. Then, of course, from then on, as you can probably guess, things really got into a horrible mess. All the rest of that day, on those wild screaming beaches, the fix-it-up chappie kept fixing up Sneetches. Off again, on again, in again, out again. Through the machines they raced round and about again, changing their stars every minute or two. They kept paying money. They kept running through, until neither the plane nor the star bellies knew whether this one was that one, or was that one with this one, or which one was what one, or what one was who. See how they're going into the different machines, getting stars, taking the stars off again. Each time they have to pay money to put more stars on or to take more stars off. Oh dear. Then, when every last cent of their money was spent, the fix-it-up chappie packed up as he went. And he laughed as he drove in his car up the beach. They never will learn, no, you can't teach a Sneetch. They used all their money putting stars on and taking them off again. But McBean was quite wrong. I'm happy to say that the Sneetches got really quite smart on that day. The day they decided that Sneetches are Sneetches, and no kind of Sneetch is the best on the beaches. That day, all the Sneetches forgot about stars, and whether they had one or not, upon theirs. They became friends, with stars and no stars. It didn't matter. They were Sneetches, all of them. The end. The next story is called The Zacks. We'll read it tomorrow. See you later. Bye-bye.